Good morning. So I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. Wait, 2.5 hours of sleep. So I look extra awesome today. And I thought it was a great day to start our health and wellness vlogs, if you will. Um, so, sorry about the shadow on my glasses, but I can't see otherwise. Last night Honora woke up. She had 101-degree fever. Her nose has been running. I'm pretty sure she's cutting her 2-year molars. So it should be awesome this week. Thank goodness Jeremy is home, and I have started on my health and wellness journey. Now, I'm going to be sharing probably what is too much information, otherwise known as TMI, today about why I am on a health and wellness journey. It's not just to get healthy. I'm a fairly healthy person, never sick, all that good stuff. And so you're probably wondering what health and wellness has to do with a mommy blog. Well, in my case, it's everything, and it all has to pertains to my motherhood and what has happened in the last 2 years. So when you have a baby, your body goes through extreme trauma, and when you have babies back to back, it's extra trauma. I don't know how that Duggar chick does it. I'm gonna tell you, it's like, bam, just baby, baby, bye. I don't know. Maybe Jesus gives her an extra dose of awesome. I'm not really sure. But I, on the other hand, have had some interesting experiences being a mom in terms of my physical reactions and such. So I'm going to tell you what happened, what's happening currently, what I'm doing about it, and you will then understand why it pertains to this blog and what we're going to be going forward with in terms of my health and wellness, and then each week I'll be updating you. This is going to include pictures of my just incredible Victoria's Secret style body right now. Any of you that know me know that when Jeremy and I met, I exercised. I ran a mile every other day. I did a circuit every other day for about 45 minutes. And then I would isolate a muscle group a couple times a week. And I was in great shape. I'm 5'10", so I'm always going to weigh more, I think, than obviously a short, thin person. But I weighed 144 pounds when I got married. I was a size 1, and I had 15.3% body fat. Now I've had kids and stuff in the last 2 years, and so obviously some of that's changed. But currently, those stats are very different. And so I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do to get back to, it doesn't have to be that, health and wellness comes in different shapes and sizes, but back to what's healthy for me and what I weigh right now and everything, and what's been going on with me physically so that you understand how this all connects. So background information is, and today's blog might go past the 15-minute mark. I'm trying to keep them at, because this is the starter blog for the health and wellness, and I want to give you all the information today. All right, so got pregnant with Honora. I was 30 years old. She was super easy pregnancy until the very end when she was flipped breech and we couldn't get her turned. Had a C-section, was devastated, but it was the way it had to go because I was planning a water birth. And so it was the complete opposite of what I was planning, right? And I lost all the weight really fast, went back to work at 6 weeks, never even had a 6-week checkup. And on I went. Things were awesome. Typical first-time parenting. And then at 7 months, she quit breastfeeding. She nursed the morning of June 18th. And then she didn't want anything to do with me after that. She was ready to be a big girl, to have bottles and all that good stuff. And I was like, okay, I was having to leave my job a couple times a day to go pump, and it was a lot of work, as you know, if you've had the pleasure of breastfeeding or have made the choice to breastfeed, you know that it is a lot of work. And I thought, all right, we're ready for formula, so here we go. And it was fine. Well, within a couple weeks, so within, I'd say 3 weeks, I started to notice mentally I was unstable. Like, I have a kind of a manic personality anyway, I get going, I'm a little emotional, or I'm silent, like there is no real in between. But this was working all day and suddenly going from loving my job to hating my job, going from being completely satisfied to completely dissatisfied all in one day with life. I would come home exhausted. I would walk in. My mom, who had moved here from Louisiana, was watching Honora every day now, so she didn't have to come to work with me. I would come home, she'd be there, Jeremy would be there. I would see something on the floor and just lose my ever loving mind. And after about 2 weeks of this, I wasn't sleeping, all that stuff. So after about 2 weeks of this, I flipped out one day in the living room, and I don't remember what happened, but they both just silently stared at me, my mother and Jeremy. And I looked at them and said, "Something's wrong with me. I gotta go to the doctor." And they were like, "Please, please go to the doctor." So I did. My doctor, I don't know if your doctors do the same, but they give you a paper. It's like 10 questions about whether you're depressed. Okay, so based on that paper, I wasn't depressed. But what my doctor said is that something's going on with you. And the depression that I believe you now have is like the cart that came behind the horse. You had all this stuff going on with you the last couple of weeks, hormonally, and it has created depression, lack of sleep, lack of wanting to eat, the up and down, okay, so depression has become this chemical imbalance in your brain, and we need to treat it and get you back on track. So she put me on Zoloft. Zoloft makes most people sleepy. Zoloft made me not sleep for 2 weeks straight. By the time I went back into my doctor, she took one look at me and said, "This is not the drug for you. You haven't slept in 2 weeks. It's having the complete opposite reaction it has to maybe 90% of the population. The rest of you, it keeps you awake. You're clearly not depressed. Like, in terms of how Zoloft works, this is not what you need." She said, "So I'm convinced now it is definitely just hormonal." And she put me on Celexa. And the reason she did that is because Celexa targets hormones. And I didn't have to wait. It was a transferable drug, and there's a word for it, but Zoloft and Celexa are similar enough that you can just start taking the other. You don't have to wait, detox from one, take the other, whatever they do it. So I switched to the Celexa, immediately felt a million times better, started sleeping, didn't feel crazy. Bam, 2 weeks in, felt amazing. And the thing with Celexa was, because it targeted the hormones, I could take it, and then she told me there will come a point where you feel like you're normalized again and you can start to wean yourself off of it. The Celexa is no longer needed. And so, me trying to live a very holistic life in terms of my life in general, this was way easier pill to swallow, literally, no pun intended, than taking Zoloft. So I took the Celexa. Well, 2 weeks in to the Celexa, I'm feeling awesome, and I find out I'm pregnant with Brecken. Celexa, technically, yes, you can take it while pregnant if absolutely necessary, but because my doctor knows me and she operates very similarly in her thinking, she pulled me from Celexa that day when my test came back positive, wrote me a script to not work for 2 weeks while I went through withdrawals. So, anybody who has ever had to take a medication for the mind, or any medication that requires a slow start and build up to a medication and then a taper off, knows that you don't just pull a drug like that. So here I went from a psycho to somebody going through withdrawals. My work was so kind. I'd been with them for 2 years. Like, anybody that's watching this that worked with me at that point knows that it was a lot going on. And I was not myself. I couldn't work like I could. It caused all kinds of, putting other people in a position. They didn't really know what was going on at work. And so it was a really rough place to be in. So I went through withdrawals. It went a couple days. It was severe. I didn't take the full 2 weeks off of work. I went back after like a week and a half. My doctor didn't recommend it, but I wanted to. Anyway, had Brecken. Brecken's pregnancy was miserable. I had to go to a prenatal therapist. Hey, Nikki, if you're watching, who was amazing to work on my hip, and the fascia of my scar was so tight from the first C-section that I would roll over and feel like I was being stabbed to death every day, all day. I had to wear the sweet SI lock belt for my SI joint. So joint. So my hips would stabilize. It sucked. I ended up in another C-section after 46 hours of labor with Brecken because we tried a VBAC and she wouldn't come out. After that C-section, which was miserable, I shook the whole time. No amount of drugs that was given to me by the anesthesiologist would stop the shaking. My body was in shock from all the labor. I labored without medication, with medication, half medication, half my body numb, the other half not numb. I mean, it went on and on and on and on. I was exhausted. And at the end of the C-section, the OR doctor who had been present for Anora's birth also, she came in and told me that it's rare to see, but in some cases the bladder swells, and mine had swollen. And so Brecken was crowning but couldn't go further. Her shoulders couldn't get past my bladder. So for 3 days after her birth, my bladder wouldn't work, and I was catheterized 4 or 5 times, to try to get my bladder to restart, and it wouldn't restart, and then they finally left it in for a full 24 hours. So had that, came home, recovery took forever, and here we are. So I've gone through the gamut of learning to being a stay-at-home mom, stepping down from the job, all the stuff that you guys have read over the course of, this blog starting. So where are we at now, and why health and wellness? I've been feeling incredibly stabilized, mentally well, all of that. Brecken doesn't take a bottle, as some of you've already read or have heard in my blogs. And so she's still breastfeeding. She feeds every 3 hours. She's on solids now. About 3 weeks ago, I started feeling like total garbage. I had no idea why. It was like my body couldn't catch up. I went from having all the energy in the world and getting up 2-3 times a night with the baby to the baby sleeping 11 hours at night and me having less energy. I started feeling a little crazy, like I did with Anora. My body hurt. I was 8 pounds from my goal weight. From my pre-pregnancy weight. I only had 8 more pounds to go about a month ago, and I got on the scale 3 weeks ago and had put 12 pounds on for no reason. I didn't want to eat. I can't sleep. I can't fall asleep. I wake up and I'm awake for about 3 hours every night. My arms start to tingle and go numb if I'm typing and blogging to you guys. I'm getting nauseous at least once a day. I started a period. Now that can happen when you're nursing. It didn't happen with Anora, but it can happen. When it started 3 weeks ago, the first couple of days I almost went to the ER because I was in such discomfort and pain I didn't know what was happening. And then a period started and I thought, oh, my body's it's really confused. It's nursing. I'm having a period, but it was really weird. It was kind of off and on for a day or two, and I could tell my body was still confused. It didn't know if it wanted to have a period or not. It knew it was still nursing. 3 weeks goes by and I'm progressively getting more exhausted. I can't drive without, my eyes wanting to close. I can't sleep. I can't carry the kids around. I can't pull myself off the couch. I'm feeling like total garbage. My body hurts again. All of a sudden, within 3 weeks' time, bam, a second period starts. About 5 days ago. It's so severe that I'm going through 1 to 2 tampons an hour, bleeding through clothes, bleeding through everything. This is where it gets to be too much information. I already had a test scheduled for January 6th with my doctor to get a baseline of my health. Anyway, and after my 6-week checkup, we tested my thyroid. We tested all that stuff that can go out of whack when you have a baby, and I was fine. Well, here we are. My baby's 7 months old. This doesn't feel the same way it felt with Anora. There's a lot of factors present and both missing from that experience. But I'm suddenly a mess. I woke up this morning after 2.5 hours of sleep feeling incredible. I woke up yesterday after 7 or 8 hours of sleep and Brecken sleeping through the night and was so depressed all day that I pulled into my house after going grocery shopping last night, and I sat and I stared at my house and wondered if I wanted to walk in the door. It's a complete manic depressive situation happening, and I have no idea why. I look like crap. Every time I get on one of these vlogs, I'm like, what is happening? I don't feel like myself. I'm squishy, I'm bloated, I'm thick, I've put on 12 pounds, everything's out of whack. And my friend Shelly said to me, she's going through some thyroid issues right now. And she said to me, is it your thyroid? Well, I looked up, I was like, Shelly, not everything's about a thyroid, right? You know, because I'm crazy right now with my responses. But it is one of the things they'll recheck here on the 6th. So I look at my, some thyroid information I've already looked at before, because that's one of the first things they'll check when you feel crazy after a pregnancy. And I have like 24 out of the 25 symptoms. The only one I don't have is an inability to get pregnant. So clearly, I can get pregnant. I have all the others. Now, all those symptoms can be caused by so many other things that it may not be the thyroid. It would definitely be a quick answer if it was, but I don't know that that's it. I don't know if my body's confused. I don't know what's happening, but I'm a mess. My friend Trish, who will probably watch this at some point, texted me a couple days ago about Playdate tomorrow. We do Playdates on Tuesdays. And I was in such a depressive episode that I almost texted her, I just don't know if I'll be able to because I've been going through some things, which is why I've been showing up to Playdates a hot mess. And then I woke up today feeling incredible, and I've had 2.5 hours of sleep. So where does this bring us? Okay, first, this gives you the information as to what's going on with my mommy body in life. All right, for any of those of you that are total disaster, here you go. Oh, sorry, I just unplugged my computer. We gotta have that. So you're not alone. All right, pregnancy does something to you. Okay. Where else does this bring us? This brings us to the health and wellness journey, because we're at 17 minutes on this blog today, and I want to try to keep it kind of small. Short, small. Okay. So clearly I need to get back into the gym. I have been so exhausted with what I just described to you that I'm 4 days into my health and wellness journey and I haven't gone yet. I haven't been able to walk. I've been having to take, that's another thing. I've been having to take about 4 ibuprofen every 4 to 6 hours for the last 2 days. So getting on a treadmill and running when you're bleeding profusely and in agony is not really my idea of a good time. So I have not gone to the gym. That's the first thing you need to know. I bought gallons of water. My doctor said I need to be going through about a gallon a day. You can overdo water, so you have to know how much. Talk to your doctor about that. But for my purposes, it's about 128 ounces of water a day if I can get it in. So I bought 5 89-cent gallons of water, of distilled water. I'm not going to be buying gallons of water because I'm not into throwing plastic into the universe. But I wanted to have a visual at first, and then I'll reuse them or get some glass would be preferable to refilling. So getting through a gallon of water every day and remembering is kind of hard. Also, I've got some books I'll share with you down the road. Going to be exercising. I'm going to be getting the baseline done on the 6th. In fact, actually, it might be sooner. I'm about to call today and see if my doctor can get me in today or tomorrow because of the bleeding that's been going on. You women know that's not good to be bleeding that much. Now, it could just be that my body hasn't had a cycle in 15 months, right? But today would be day 3, sorry. I gotta remember. Of every 1 to 2 hours of bleeding through everything you have on is maybe a cause for a call to your care physician, your primary care physician. So I'm going to call her. I'm going to see if she wants to see me sooner, but she is going to do cholesterol, sugar, thyroid, whether I'm crazy, all that, this just came on again. And after the situation with Honora, we kind of expected to maybe have to revisit this, but this is very different. And Brecken's still breastfeeding, so this is very different. I'm still getting all the happy hormones and stuff from her. The one thing I have started doing, I'm going to explain to you, is I've gone back to gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free, unless it's natural, honey and maple syrup, natural sugars. If you were keeping up on my blog or you're a friend of mine, I don't know that I ever really got into it, but when Brecken was 2 months old, we thought she had allergies, and so I gave all that stuff up because, of course, she's nursing from me. Those are the top allergies: soy milk and gluten, dairy, soy and gluten. And so I got rid of those things. We saw an allergist. Long story short, I had to reintroduce those things one at a time. An even longer story short, Brecken's fine. It was GERD. She got medication. She's outgrown it since she started solids. But for me, I felt incredibly like death after I re-added those things back into my life. And the allergist told me I would. He said, when you add gluten and dairy back to your life, you're going to feel awful. I thought, awesome. Well, I'm really looking forward to that. What I can tell you about eliminating gluten and dairy from my diet was that I never felt better in my entire life. I never pooped cleaner in my entire life. I never slept better, and I never looked better in my entire life than when I gave up those things. I have felt so bad since that my doctor, my care physician, did test me for celiac. Celiacs? Is there an S on the end? Anyway, disease, a gluten issue, and it came back negative. She said anybody that feels that bad after reintroducing something needs to be tested for an allergy. Well, mine came back negative. But what she said is that you can have a celiac disease, am I saying that right? For a decade before a test will come back positive. Even modern testing has a hard time picking up on it and giving you a positive result if you have a problem. And so she recommended I go low gluten. So I'm going back to, I'm not going to be real crazy like reading all the ingredients, you know what I mean, in terms of dairy, because let's all be honest, if you know me, goat cheese and I, speaking of dairy, goat cheese and I are best friends. I also have to have creamer in my coffee. I do use coconut milk and honey, and it's delicious, but it's just not the same as sweet cream Italian creamer. You know what I'm saying? So that's happening because of my current experience with it, not because I'm on some fad mobile and everybody's doing it. Okay, I can tell you firsthand, eliminating it from your life, adding it back into your life, huge difference. I can tell you what the doctor said, I can tell you what an allergist said. All concur. Protein, vegetables, fruit, water. That's it. You'll never feel better in your entire life. So with that, I've done research. Now I have people in my family who use Plexus. I have people who use Arbonne. I have people who do Beachbody. We have a friend of a friend, Erica, who's doing something else. They're all getting results in different ways with different things. Well, I breastfeed, so I want something that is natural. I'm not into GMOs. I want something non-GMO. And I want something that makes sense. And so after a lot of research, I contacted my friend, Christy Maxwell. We went to high school together, elementary school, junior high together. We have stayed in touch via Facebook. It's really sad that that's the way things happen nowadays. And recently have been communicating. She is a senior sales consultant for Juice Plus. I had done some research on Juice Plus. And long story short, again, I ordered it. It is a financial investment. What is happening with Juice Plus? Do the research. I'm going to post some videos about it and stuff. It's not a, hey, Amy's going to be trying to convince you to get on board with this, but I'm going to give you the results from my experience and see what you think. Juice Plus, okay, nationally renowned system of capsules and shakes if you choose, but capsules. If you were to try and get your 7 to 14 daily recommended fruits and vegetables, you would be here all day. My friend Christy's vegan. I have a lot of friends who are vegetarians and vegans. For them, it's pushing impossible, and that's all they eat. For those of us who enjoy bacon and other things, or subscribe to that line of thinking, that it's delicious and it's good for you, or meat in general, it is impossible. I probably get 2 or 3 servings of vegetables and fruit total a day. To get what you need, it's not just fruits and vegetables, it's specific fruits and vegetables. And so Juice Plus, I'm going to show you what I've got because I've been on it for 4 days. And I wanted to give it 4 days with me dealing with all this stuff and how I felt before I did this vlog. So I have 2 jars of each of the things I'm about to show you. Ready? Purple. Blended grape and berry juice powders in capsule form. Purple. They're literally purple. You know what they remind me of? What I told Christy they remind me of? When we were kids, you get those little capsules that you put in hot water, and after the gelatinous stuff on the outside dissolves, some little foam creature appears out of the center. God, I used to want to eat those all the time when I was a kid. I can actually eat these, but no little styrofoam things come out. Okay, red. This is your blended fruit and vegetable juice powders for your red fruits and vegetables. Okay? And it's specific stuff. So apples, peach, cranberry, orange, papaya, prunes, dates, beets, pineapple, cherries. Okay? And then green fruits and vegetables. And so you also have some oat bran, rice bran in here, but cabbage, spinach, kale, garlic beet, again, carrot, tomato, parsley, broccoli. Each day, I'm taking these capsules. And in these capsules gives me everything I need, fruits, vegetables, grains, all that good stuff. It gives me what I need for my daily intake of fruits and vegetables and berries. What can I tell you about day 1? These guys, when you burp them, taste like garlic. And they make you fart like crazy, which I am a huge fan of. In fact, I'm a little disappointed because what I'm reading on the little group that we have going, this Transform 30 group, because right now there's a little program with these for a 30-day detox, but anyway, transform your life in 30 days, I believe. But what I can tell you from the group is that most people are experiencing like severe gas, right? Well, I only experienced it for one day and then it went away, and I was like, why am I getting gypped out of the gas? Haven't had the gas problem since day 1. I, though, am also doing their shakes. This is a whole food-based protein shake. I bought enough for 2 shakes a day. 2 bags of chocolate, 2 bags of vanilla. You can just do the capsules if you research it and find it something for you that's natural. Everything's non-GMO that they've got. So I've got this Juice Plus Complete shake, and I was going to do 2 a day. Well, I'm finding it's 1 shake. I mix it up with almond milk because I'm avoiding the dairy. And I'll, slap a banana in, make a smoothie or some almond butter or whatever. But it's 130 calories, and you get 13 grams of protein. You get 32% of your daily fiber. What I'm finding is 1 shake at lunch, I'm like forcing myself to eat dinner. It keeps me full all day, and so I'm actually at 1 shake a day right now. Just so you all know. The plan was 2, I'm at 1. Because it is keeping me so full and satisfied. And it's delicious. I like things that are earthy, so, it's delicious. But it tastes like chocolate. Somebody posted that you can make hot chocolate out of it. I'm like, sign me up. Jeremy made some paleo protein powder shake the other day, and then he tried my protein powder and was like, why does mine suck so bad and why is yours so delicious? And I was like, I don't know, but it is. And these shakes are protein plus gluten-free plus non-dairy, low glycemic level, high fiber, and they're vegan. So we'll be talking more about the system, but what I can tell you after 4 days is that I got 2.5 hours of sleep last night and I feel incredible. And I've only taken my green capsules so far. You take 2 of each every day. In addition to me having the system, because I bought the system, Nora is sponsored for free as a child. And so she has, let me show you here. Excuse me, let me get real close. This is Nora's, okay, Juice Plus system for kids. Nora does not like to eat anything but cucumbers and strawberries. 2 bags of green, 2 bags of red, her fruits and vegetables, and berries in a daily chewable, 2 daily chewables from each. She farted like nuts the first day, so Nora and I are walking around just like killing everybody. And Jeremy's like, what's happening? Detox, that's what's happening. This stuff helps your kidneys, your liver, your body function better. It's not like a vitamin where you're taking a vitamin and everything you don't need or anything extra is being pushed out. This is stuff your body needs. It's fruits and vegetables. It's all getting absorbed. I feel incredible. And I got all that stuff going on. So I'm interested in seeing, and like I said, Honora's was free. They'll sponsor children. It's a part of a health study. Or you can sponsor your child. You pay shipping. It's part of a health study. We're using these as potty candies instead of M&Ms. Honora loves them. In fact, she found them back here in my office yesterday and said, gummies? Gummies? Now, if your kids don't brush their teeth well and you don't want gummies stuck to their teeth, you're worried about cavities, you can get capsules. But if kid, and you can break the capsule open from what I've read and sprinkle it in their food and they don't notice because most kids aren't going to swallow a capsule, right? But Honora brushes her teeth really well and she sees my fabulous dentist, Dr. Nick, and her teeth look great. So I don't mind that she has the gummies. But I'm off track. So the Juice Plus is the big thing. I've had a lot of people I've read in the group that are posting they're skeptical about the Juice Plus if they've signed on to try it. They're waiting to see what happens. I can tell you that with all these issues I've got going on, that this is really helping me. I feel good. Even with all this stuff going on, I'm going to discuss it with my doctor when I see her. I'm going to share my results with you guys. I'm going to tell you exactly what's happening with me mental wellness wise. I'm going to tell you how much weight I lose. I was 152 pounds when I got pregnant with Brecken, and I was probably 15 pounds more than I wanted to be, and I wasn't exercising. I wasn't healthy. Like I said, I'm 5'10", so I think the least I've ever weighed was 139, and that was borderline too skinny. And I'm not looking to be like supermodel skinny. I'm looking to be healthy and athletic again like I was. And I was really skinny then and muscly. But I weighed 144. I had muscle on me. So I don't mind weighing 145 pounds of muscle. I do mind weighing 172 pounds of what's going on right now. I was at 160, and like I said, I got on the scale because I started feeling really weird and I could tell my body was kind of like expanding. I got on the scale and I put on 12 pounds. I'm at 172 again. And so something's really off with my body. And I'm hoping Juice Plus is an investment financially. I'm not going to beat around the bush with you guys. I'm going to tell you exactly what it does for me, how I feel and everything. This is day 4. I feel good. I feel like I have energy to go to the gym right now. So this is a good day for me. And Honora got up so much that I had 2.5 hours sleep last night. I am about to pee my brains out, so I'm going to let you guys go. Literally like sitting on my hand right now. Literally, kind of. Because I am drinking a lot of water, and with the shakes, it's like I pee. So a lot of what you lose at first thing's water weight. But when you're not taking in excessive gluten, your body's not inflamed. It doesn't hurt. You don't hold in all that water. So I'm going to keep you guys posted, and I'm going to post this video. I'm going to call the doctor. I'm going to let you guys know what she says. I'm going to give you my results. I'm going to tell you when I do start exercising today, what I do, how much of it I do. I'll introduce the books and things I'm also using to you guys here this coming week, and keep you updated on my mental wellness. And then we'll go from there. And I hope that you've all enjoyed hearing my story today. We're at 33 minutes, so we're double our normal time. From now on, I will keep it at 15 or under, but at least you have a starting point for what's going on with Amy Granger over here. And I hope you guys are all feeling good mentally and physically, because I don't wish any of this upon you. But if you're not feeling well, stay tuned. And I encourage you to start looking into that in ways that benefit you, and not just straight to meds or allowing it to just continue for the sake of being too busy to get it looked at. So I will talk to you guys later. I'm gonna go pee. Bye.